So KH3 is finally a thing, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it on this platform. Although you may not know, I made one video on it on this channel, which was pretty much a proud mode playthrough of KH1. It was gonna be a part series, and I don't know if I'm gonna be doing it. Probably on my own time. I don't know if I'm gonna upload that on my channel in the future. I have beaten KH1 and 2 numerous times, and I've beaten Birth by Sleep. Chain of Memories can go to hell for its dumb combat mechanics. I'm not a fan of the cards. That shit can go to hell. I did not play the game on the Game Boy Advance the whole way through, but I have had the chance of playing it, at least trying it, but it's very vaguely in my mind. I played that when I was very young. I first beat Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the PS3 when it re-released on 1.5, the collection on PS3 when it first came out. So I have had the liberty of obviously beating the remake of Chain of Memories.
I know some of you guys in the comments are going to be coming at me and calling me a fake fan and whatnot, but yeah, I didn't play Dream Drop Distance, wasn't really bothered.
I mean, I'm not really crazy about it. I know what happens in it. Pretty much Sora becomes, I mean, he was gonna be taken in and become the one of the 13 Seekers of Darkness or whatever, but Riku and the gang ended up saving him, whatever. And I'm not a big fan of Union Cross and milking the living hell out of Kingdom Hearts for that. I'm just more interested in the console games. That's it. And the combat from Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 has always been the intriguing and one of the driving forces of why I play these games. And oh boy, the characters. Roxas, I'm looking at you, buddy. Got it memorized? Kingdom Hearts can always get you in the feels, and it still does in this game. Not the way I kind of pictured it, but Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't obviously the greatest game in the series, and it's definitely not unfinished like other games I played. Insert joke here from a terrible, I mean, it wasn't that bad, Final Fantasy 15, but it was definitely not finished. Now, first of all, what is a good with KH3 before we get into the bad? Well, first of all, the combos look very flashy, the gameplay is more in-depth than previous releases, but it doesn't make it great. But it's still fun to pull off combos and such, and obviously the graphics are breathtaking and are really eye-candy in our day and age for graphics and games today. Now, for the criticizing stuff. The balancing in KH3 when it comes to challenge is pretty terrible for the most part because of the wind up on your attacks and take too long to recover. The floatiness has never been proven to be a problem in other previous KH games, as you would have enough time during any one of your attacks to like attack, cancel, and block. But some of your attacks take too long to recover in KH3, and it leaves you wide open and to an enemy's attack, forcing you to cancel your attack after your first two hits on your quickest ones just to avoid getting hit. That's not right. I should be anticipating my enemy's attacks, not backing away in fear. No, not every fight is like this in KH3. Sometimes you'll be breezing through enemies and other times you'll have a bit of surprising trouble. But a huge problem that comes into the combat in this game is how often you get summons, and they just come left and right. After every minute, you'll be getting a bunch of options like whether you want to do a tag team special move with Goofy or a tag team special move with Donald, or you get some random move where you start using a boat and then you get to use it on a boss. Like the balancing, like these like special moves should be all under a category where you select them like at least one or two or three, right? That's it. And they all have their own bar and they're in their own section like magic, right? And they should be labeled special moves or whatever, special. And they have a bar for how much you have to build for it, like a limit break in Final Fantasy 7. to make it not so broken, so that you don't like and you have to build it up like magic, but more so like a limit break from Final Fantasy VII. That's how it should have been balanced. Because for how they are right now, they just wade this dude so much damage, and they take away so much of the bosses or enemies' lives. Like it's just another button for you to mash effectively with. That's pretty much it. You just see stuff flashing. Um, you just see you press the button and it magically kills things and melts their life bar. Now, at least these things are optional, but how the game is designed, it feels like it's based around these special moves, and they just really smack your hand with trying to play any differently. There was times in the game where I was like purposely not trying to use these special moves and just trying to play KH like how I normally would. But in this KH, you just are forced to use these special moves. In KH1, you barely had anything. The summons in that game, they were barely even useful. I actually never used a single summon in KH1. In this game, it's Summon City. It's like every single minute. It's like KH took a few steps forward, but also took I don't know, like 5 steps back and lost that challenge that the series used to have with those epic boss battles or secret boss battles with Sephiroth. Those fights were amazing. And even with Riku in the beginning of the game with they're not even boss fights, they're just like small encounters with the characters. Like small Titus, young Riku in the beginning of the game with KH1 on Destiny Islands. Those battles were awesome. And we all have to ask that hard question. Was KH3 worth the wait? And if you're going to ask people who played 15 that, no, it wasn't. And KH3 is also the exception as well. It was not worth the wait. No game could withstand this wait. 10 years waiting for this game. 13 years waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's not worth it. Now, glad it exists. Someone just needs to get Nomura to retire or something, because we need to get new blood in this series to direct this, because the pacing in this game is a huge mess, and it's one of its biggest problems. And spoilers here, so you're gonna have to skip to a later part in the video. Half of the worlds you're going to in Kingdom Hearts 3 don't need to be here because of the context of the story, and because of plot convenience, you'll be going to these worlds, and occasionally you'll get a phone call from Chip and Dale or whoever on Sora's journey about what's going on with them and whatnot, what's going on with Sora's heart. And the story doesn't feel like it's moving forward at all until we start reaching the last 5 hours of the game and actually start saving long-time characters of the series that was teased in the trailers, because with Sora against the 13 Secrets of Darkness, basically the story is Sora needs to get the power of waking that was lost in the previous games while trying to prepare for the big fight with the 13 Secrets of Darkness. And that's pretty much the entire extent of the plot, with another bunch of plot threads mixed into this game that don't get elaborated on that much, but are answered or just show up. If you haven't played the previous games, you'll be lost for sure, but for me, I was okay for the most part, having not played Dream Drop Distance. But I was also kind of confused because I'm not familiar with Union Cross or anything like that with Lost Masters. But at least for me, you still get those old darkness versus light vibes from older Kingdom Hearts games, and got some goosebumps. As for worlds, the worlds themselves are uninteresting, reenacting plot threads from Disney movies, and even going so far as to recreate scenes from movie spoilers like Frozen, Let It Go. Dude, shit. You're gonna go that far? Make Sora, Donald, and Goofy be a part of it instead of the sidelines. The Toy Story world had some nice character interactions, especially with the villains. The pirate ship, the Caribbean, were alright, I guess. Fighting underwater can go to hell. I can't believe they did it again. But yeah, I liked the game, even though it was not the resolution I wanted for this saga and the Kingdom Hearts story. I love the KH games, and I'm excited and wondering for whatever they're gonna do next. But Kingdom Hearts 3 feels extremely underwhelming.